in a parang. So
There we go.
Well, the quattro man of the woman when they get it so hard. In a compromise, the possession when they come for the man. And the man on mandolin dating a thirsty thing. I see the shot man feeling she a be a good thing.
Merry Christmas, she like me. Merry Christmas, she out a diamond. Mary was having a ball. Merry Christmas, she like me. Merry Christmas, she out a diamond. Mary drinking alcohol. She jump up on the table. I say, girl, be careful. She say, I will give bubble. I having a time. It was so alarming when she bounced she head on the ceiling. But you keep speaking her mind.
The chorus singer smiling with the mic in she hand. But the boyfriend should have known the secret wedding plan. But he tries to claim it since it really not be on. You see she like that sing on plenty microphone.
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, she out a diamond. Mary was having a ball. Merry Christmas, she like me. Merry Christmas, she out a diamond. Mary drinking alcohol. What a sight to see it! I could not believe it. It was kicks we getting till she start gossiping. She jump up on the table. She was causing plenty trouble. Then she start to bubble. What a battle!
The gentleman is serious, step up to him and pressure. He a pay the rent and he does only right bounce check. But all your manager just buy big house and land. But he eating all the money from the paragraph.
Merry Christmas, she like me. Merry Christmas, she out a diamond. Mary was having a ball. Merry Christmas, she like me. Merry Christmas, she out a diamond. Mary drinking alcohol. Well, my good friend Mary was never contrary. Make everyone merry Christmas time.
I love you all.
So chipper and happy, but we all were sorry that she drink a shandy in the lime.
Yes, Ashanti.
Cause it's like a different character.
Oh, God, oh.
Rock hole in my soul and take over.
Me tell you.
If you don't want no drama off us,
Leg on me hand.
leave the heavy drinking to
I will
us.
say what I want.
We were having lots of fun and we were doing fine till she start talking people business in the parang line. People business in the road, but still she telling them
I take free, don't take nothing, I am still your friend.
Merry Christmas, she like me. Merry Christmas.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. How you doing? Welcome to Healthy Love. Kicking things off
Background singer.
in the background, the sound of Rambunction. Working out with Nikki Crosby.
But who does she?
It's called Merry Christmas.
She there for me, please? Lord, for a bad song, bad. All you know what?
You know, it is that time of the year.
Everybody out there.
Christmas is only a few days away.
Hey, but the party's not.
People all over the place partying in all kind of ways. Right here,
Christmas, she like me. Merry Christmas.
we're being mindful of certain things, eh? Let's Healthy Love Night, and I'm back live.
Believe it, it was kicks we getting till she start gossiping.
I want to say big up to each and everyone locked in right now.
Plenty trouble. Then she start
Those on Tune In Radio locked in on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew.
Gentleman is serious, step up to him and pressure. He a pay the rent and he does only right bounce check.
Those who are locked in out of New Jersey
Big house.
on NIE Radio, hanging out with New Jersey's finest, the Motivator. Y'all trying to keep warm. I understand. Alright, move around a little bit. I want to say big up to those out on Long Island, New York. Bouncing on Reggae Pulse Radio.
was never contrary. Make everyone merry Christmas time.
I love you all.
So chipper and happy,
And also to New York,
all was sorry that she
exhibiting the power of music,
line.
island worldwide.
It's like a different character.
Oh, God.
Hey, Jen and Nicole,
Soul and take over.
Gary,
Me tell you.
the Jump Out production crew, no good?
More of us.
Leg on me hand.
Leave the heavy drinking to
I will
us.
say what I want.
We were having lots of fun and we were
DJ Atomic Force up there in Long Island, you good, bro?
business in the bar.
I know it kinda chilly, you know.
Business in the road, but still she telling them.
I want to say big up to those who are locked in out of the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com. In warm South Florida. I think this is the only place in the United States right now that have some warmth. Yeah, y'all don't need to hate. You can travel.
Not believe it. It was kicks we getting till she start gossiping.
We don't want too much people down here in South Florida doing it. We'll sink.
Then she starts to pop.
I want to say big ups to those who are locked in on Facebook Live. Hey, Rosie. Big ups to those on YouTube Live. Those hanging out in Clubhouse. Those on Zeno FM. Those on PEMGTV.com. And of course right here at the home of the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com.
Merry Christmas time.
Where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.
But we all were sorry.
So glad to have you, couldn't do it without you. You have my word, I wouldn't even try.
Cause it's like a different character.
I want to say thank you to my segment sponsors. Paul C Media Group and Being in a Moment is priceless. Go ahead and give them a call.
Leave the heavy drinking to us.
They'll take care of your videos, your photos, your streaming, your ads, everything you see here on kevinstew.com and more. Yeah, they even host my website, so they could host yours too. Those events that they can stream, your church service, your wedding, your funeral, your party, your graduation, your seminar, you name it. On a secure platform, it can be done, whether it's yours or theirs. Give them a call, 754-999-1140. Tell them you heard about them on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. I want to say thank you to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea SU is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you, bringing her table, her oils, and over 20 years massage therapy experience. She's also a personal trainer, so you use the one number, call her up for many services. What's that number? 954-655-9000. It's 954-655-9000. She only has one request outside of paying her. It is to get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done. I always fall asleep. Chances are you will too.
Make everyone merry Christmas time.
I want to say thank you to Reggae Global Entertainment.
But we all were sorry.
Reggae Global acts as your booking agents, handle your tour management.
Cause it's like a different
Take care of your business registration, your legal service referrals, music production, marketing and promotion, and much, much more.
one more drama of us.
Go ahead and give them a call, 954-804-8199. That's 954-804-8199.
She start talking people business in the bar and lime. People business in the road.
Or you can check them out at reggaeglobal.com. Call them up and tell them Kevin Stew sent you. I want to say thank you to McNeil Trucking. McNeil Trucking is a veteran-owned, licensed and insured mover in the state of Florida. So you want to move from the Keys up to Jacksonville, from Naples to Palm Beach, from Pompano to Pensacola and all points in between. You want to put some things in storage? You don't have the manpower, you don't have the transportation, don't worry. You have the name, you have the number. McNeil Trucking, 954-406-9740. Tell them Kevin Stew sent you. Thank you, McNeil Trucking. With McNeil Trucking, your goods are in good hands. Hey Kim, how you doing? I want to say big ups to the one and only Spider.
all that diamond, every
Rambunction and Nikki Crosby in the background. A track called Merry Christmas.
Christmas time.
And as we are approaching Christmas, you know, we get to enjoy food, fun, and fellowship, but it's something that we enjoy all the time. So you wonder why it's different at Christmas, right? Well, Christmas seems to be the time where, well, it is most commercialized, and people traveling and people getting together and family coming together and, you know, things that they should be doing all year anyway. But hey, why not traditions? Now, one of the things that always happens is a lot of eating. Now, of course, there's also a lot of drinking. But at the same time, there are a lot of storytelling. And people are reminiscing and about those that have gone on and are no longer with us. And you kind of have to ask yourself, you know, how many others have lost someone? Well, if you think like me, you know, the odd, weird question would pop out, and I guess that would be one of them. You know, how many people, who else lost someone if you did? Or did someone lose a loved one this year, last year, this time? You know, things like that. You kind of have to wonder. Big ups to my brother up there in New Jersey. New Jersey's finest, once again. The Motivator. Yeah, man, I like that tune too. I had to throw something Christmassy in there to kick off tonight's broadcast. Now, does anybody ever wonder what the lead causes of death are? Or is it something that we don't think about because it sounds too morbid? But if we're not thinking about it because it sounds too morbid, then we run into the problem of not being mindful enough to take care of ourselves, to end up becoming a statistic. So, what choice do you have? Are you going to... Well, you do have choices. You always have choices. You can ignore it, bury your head in the sand, and think that, you know, it won't happen to me. It's something for other people, you know. Or you can say, hey, you know, I might need to give this some consideration. Let's dip into the numbers a little bit and look at some of the leading causes of death. People might be saying, well, it's Christmas time. Why are you going so morbid? Because we need to. I was watching TV and, well, actually, the TV was on and a commercial came on. And it was one of them vaccine commercials. And the punchline in the commercial is COVID was the third leading cause of death. Now, I don't know if that kind of frightened people because it had the words leading cause of death in it, but it also had the word was in it. And I thought to myself, you've seen or you've heard this commercial come on a number of times when the TV is on. But you don't hear commercials about other things that address other leading causes of death. You'll hear things advertised and in the disclaimer say it may cause death, may cause suicidal thoughts, things like that. But you don't hear may cause death. And so, or something to address a leading cause of death. And so I continued thinking and talking to self and saying, so what then are the lead causes of death? And so tonight's broadcast is about top causes of death. And according to information from the CDC, they had put out data that and this page was last reviewed in September of this year. So it's not like this is very old data. However, you need to take all the information you get with a grain of salt. This particular bit of information was a data table relating to information for 2020. Now, of course, you can't have this year's information when this year hasn't finished yet. But the data that was gathered for mortality in the United States, 2020, the lead causes of death, heart disease had a number of 696,962. Cancer had a number of 602,350. COVID-19 had a number of 350,831. Remember that number. Accidents had a number of 200,955, and this is unintentional injuries. Stroke had a number of or cerebrovascular diseases had a number of 160,264. Chronic lower respiratory diseases had a number of 152,657. Alzheimer's, 134,242. Diabetes, 102,188. Influenza and pneumonia had a number of 53,544. Nephritis, nephrotic syndrome, and nephrosis had a number of 52,547. Those being the, let's call them the top take-us-outers. Hey, it's a scientific kind of a night, so we give it a scientific kind of a term. Yeah, so top diseases that are leading causes of death. Top things that take us out from this world. And the top three: heart disease, cancer, COVID-19, as according to this 2020 data. This commercial, which was brand new, said COVID-19 was the third leading cause of death, which means that it has fallen down in the ranks. Because if it was higher, they would say it is higher. If it was ever the highest, it would have said it was the highest. But the information that they had put out, and I don't know if anybody else pay attention to these commercials the way that I do. If you do, great. You can share information with me and we can talk about it. If you don't, maybe you should try starting. So, the phone line is open, by the way. 773-789-STEW is the number that gets you in touch. 773-789-7839. You can call, text, WhatsApp, Telegram. They all work. And they bring you right here into the broadcast. So you're live and in living color. And those of you who are watching, the number is scrolling across the bottom of your screen right there. 773-789-7839. One more time. 773-789-7839. So, you call me up at any point in time. You can interrupt me at any point in time. I'm fine with it. Also, you can jump into the stew pot. And for those that don't know and wondering what is the stew pot, it's what others call a chat room. But because of fancy on kevinstew.com, we have it as a stew pot. It's where we keep things interactive and bubbling. So go to kevinstew.com and you are there. You don't need to register of our firstborn, an internal organ, or a blood sacrifice. Just go to kevinstew.com. you are in. You can remain anonymous. You can put a name so that I can get more personal with who it is that I'm interacting with. But it's available to you at all times, including right now. So, do you think about death the way that I think about it? And as it relates to commercials coming on TV and such, you know, do you think about, let me put it another way. Do you think about life and what would keep you alive and the things to avoid in order to stay alive? At the top of the list, you have heart disease. And heart disease is even higher than cancer. But heart disease is one of those things that is, for the most part, preventable. But yet still, you don't hear any commercials coming on saying, hey, stop doing this and start doing this. It will help to prevent heart disease. Stop eating this and try eating this. You don't. You might hear of a drug to treat a condition or to treat a procedure relating to cardiovascular health. But you don't hear about it in such a way that you recognize that this is a leading cause of death. And so you kind of, I wonder, where's that bit of information? According to Cleveland Clinic, cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in the US. Now, here's where it goes down into a little bit more depth. Because you have a lot of different people inside the United States. And so they say racial and ethnic minority groups carry a heavier burden. Heart disease risk factors and diagnoses are more common among ethnic minorities than anywhere else. And social factors known as social determinants of health drive these health disparities. And so, yes, there are health disparities as well as other types of disparities at play in our society. And if your head is in the sand as it relates to something like that, it's time to take it out. Because, believe it or not, it is real. Cardiovascular disease is a leading cause of death for all adults. But it hits some people, especially minority groups, harder than others. For example, 47% of black adults have been diagnosed with cardiovascular disease compared with 36% of white adults. When it comes to heart disease risk factors, minority groups carry a heavier burden. Hispanic women are more than twice as likely as white women to have diabetes, which is a major risk factor for heart disease. And American Indians are 3 times more likely than whites to have diabetes. When was the last time you heard a commercial talking about preventing heart disease, preventing high blood pressure, preventing diabetes? I cannot think of a recent time where I heard of a product to help in the fight against something like this, or even just a PSA to say, be mindful of what you're doing because you only get one trip and you're on it. So if you want to enjoy this ride as much and as long as you can, and in order to do so, here are some things that you should do. You don't hear those. You might hear a one-off person talking about it, like myself right now. But for the most part, nothing. And so you kind of have to wonder, boy, is getting a vaccine for COVID-19 the most important thing there is? Well, it is the thing that is advertised the most, and whatever is talked about the most is where your attention pretty much is being directed. But what about the other things? Influenza was way down on this list, and you hear a lot of influenza vaccine commercials also. But this one was way down on this list. Things that make you go, right? When you stop for a moment, it will make you go, Because we keep going, we're only taking in and taking on what we hear on the go. We're going to take a quick break. And while we're off on the break, we're going to say goodbye to those on Facebook Live and those on Clubhouse. But the broadcast continues right here at the home of the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com, where you are encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment and all affiliates carrying the broadcast. But before we go off on the break, I want to remind you guys to get your copy of the audiobook. It is Empowered, Essential Concepts and Strategies Every Woman Should Know About Self-Defense. It is authored by Jonathan Field and narrated by yours truly, Kevin Stew. So get your copy today. Empowered, Essential Concepts and Strategies Every Woman Should Know About Self-Defense. You can go to kevinstew.com and order a copy of your book right there. Click on the book cover that is on the site, and it will take you where you need to go. Go get your copy. There's still time to gift it for Christmas. We all know someone that could use this information, male and female. So get it. Empowered, Essential Concepts and Strategies Every Woman Should Know About Self-Defense.
Pulsey Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsey Media Group.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Or maybe he's teething.
Maybe it's just a phase.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Ladies, lovers of the music, it is here, the brand spanking new album from Ed Robinson and Ian Sweetness, a tribute to Teddy Pendergrass. Amazing. 10 blazing tracks, 2 amazing singers going hit for hit, classic for classic. A tribute to Teddy Pendergrass, Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson. Oh man. It's out now. Available everywhere. iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your music, it is there. A tribute to Teddy Pendergrass, brand spanking new, Ian Sweetness, and Robinson. Ladies, gentlemen, you've got to have this in your collection. Get it now. Available everywhere. Bruv, my last baby already gone off to college, mate. Is what this is send come gimme, man. Is a big album still, I love it. Big up Ed Robinson, Ian Sweetness, but this better come with a contraceptive.
It's Christina representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin's Chew and the Night Shift Radio Show. Yo, at the thing, turn up the thing loud. Whoa, DJ Kevin's Chew at the heart of a champion. Never underestimate, just choose him. The silver line behind the dark clouds. DJ Kevin's Chew believing, and that's no doubt. Salute the Night Shift Radio Show, Christina. It's a hot it up, loud. Kill the beast. Yeah. Get you. Oh, what up? Yeah. Ordinary Chris. Hey. Thank God it's Christmas. My favorite time of the year. Thank God it's Christmas. Yeah. You can feel it in the air. Thank God it's Christmas. And it's my favorite time of the year. Thank God it's Christmas. Oh yeah. Thank you, God. Christmas is here, the time to share with families and friends. Voices wide and go all the vibes on. Love gifts under the Christmas tree. Kids out and a play. This is my favorite holiday. It's when the most money make the money, the most money spend at Christmas. My favorite time of the year. Thank God it's Christmas. You can feel it in the air. Thank God it's Christmas. It's my favorite time of the year. Thank God it's Christmas. Oh yeah. Oh my God. So let us celebrate. We gonna wake up and food in our plate. So don't hesitate. Forgot about my friends, tell them all my kids right now. Cause this is Christmas. Every kids will be them give and all them happy till them land back post. Oh, wish me a child. Me I look forward to the new year. Thank God it's Christmas. My favorite time of the year. Thank God it's Christmas. Oh my God. You can feel it in the air. Thank God it's Christmas.
The sound of Dilly Chris bringing us back from the break. Brand new music from him. Just in time for the Christmas. It's called Thank God It's Christmas. And why not celebrate? His name is Dilly Chris, brand new artist out. DILLYCHRIS. Dilly Chris. Yeah man, I like it. So, top causes of death as we get into into healthy love. On health, my goodness, I don't even know what I'm doing. The night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. See, that's what one night off gets you, you know. I was really tired last night and I couldn't do a live broadcast, in all honesty. And so it ended up being a rebroadcast. And one of the things we need to pay attention to is our bodies when it talks to us. When your body says, listen, take a break, don't push it. Because that is how a lot of us end up getting sick. The problem is we live in a society and work in a community where you're always being pushed. And so you always have to push. You have to push to make deadlines. You have to push to meet timelines. You have to push to basically make it to the end of the line. And then what? I got a message that said, healthcare promotes what it wants to. And you know, it's truly nice. They do. It's whomever has the strongest dollars, whomever has the longest pockets, get the most attention because they can afford to advertise. When you have a healthcare system promoting a particular product, you kind of have to wonder, wait, what's up with that? because this is advertising space. It doesn't come for free. When you get ads like those in prime time, multiple times, that doesn't come for free. Where that money coming from? And of course, we know that the healthcare business is big business. And like any other business, it operates in order to turn a profit. Now, if you didn't think about it before, as I'm saying it now, thoughts should be going through your head saying, wait, hold on. If the healthcare business is existing to turn a profit, how are they going to do it? Well, what are the things you have to pay for? First, you have to think about that. Then you have to think about how much you're paying for it. And you have to think about, are there other methods that could either act in the role of prevention or cures? And so now it leads to another thought of, is this a treatment or a cure? Because if it's a treatment, it's going to address the symptoms of what is ailing you, so you feel better. It doesn't take care of what is ailing you, so you get better. Notice the difference? One is feeling better and one is getting better. When you're better, then the feeling goes away. You're not feeling sick anymore. When you're feeling better, you still have whatever it is that ails you. And so it will come back. Which one do you want to do? And if you say you want to get better, are you the one doing things to make you feel better? Are you doing what it takes? Are you cutting out what you need to cut out? Or do you just like it so much that you have to stick with it? You can't part with that thing, whatever that thing is. Cleveland Clinic talks about the health disparities. And they say these differences between racial and ethnic groups are called health disparities. And health disparities are a complex and challenging problem in the United States and around the world. As we were on the break, someone said to me, ethnic cleansing? And I tried not to get into that argument. But I like the thought process. I really do. Researchers view race and ethnicity as social constructs rather than biological traits. Let me say that again. Researchers view race and ethnicity as social constructs rather than biological traits. Basically, the health differences between racial and ethnic groups are not caused by genetics. Social factors play the biggest role in shaping people's health. And many social factors affect a person's health. Some important factors include a person's ability to access money and resources for life's basic needs, quality education, quality health care, a safe living environment. We're talking about clean air, clean water. There are parts of Detroit right now that they still don't have clean water, potable water running through their faucets. And that sounds crazy, right? 2022, United States, parts of the country have no potable water. Yes. They talk about resources like nutritious food and fresh fruits and vegetables. Fresh fruits and vegetables. Not genetically modified fruits and vegetables? Yeah, because there's another difference. So the small farmers, get a fight because big farms and big pharma have their agenda. Don't mix up the two, big farm and big pharma. Although they may be linked, don't mix them up. Then you have supportive relationships, free of discrimination or violence. And that too is almost non-existent. It's non-existent in some parts of the United States, some parts of the world. These factors, known as social determinants of health, connect with each other. Example: poverty might prevent someone from following a heart-healthy diet. And if that person lives in a food desert with no healthy options for food, their choices are even more limited. So let's think about food deserts for a moment. Because you'd think that it's somewhere where there's no food, and everywhere in the United States there's food, right? Wrong. Most places in the United States have places where you can get something to eat. Would that be said or classified as food? Yes, because there's something to eat. Would it fall under the umbrella of a heart-healthy diet? No, not in all cases, and unfortunately, not in all communities. Because that community that has the corner store, that as soon as you open the door, all you can see is junk. You see candy, you see sodas, you see energy drinks, you see alcohol. You're pretty much living in a healthy food desert. You definitely cannot have a heart-healthy diet. Because even the things that you could say, okay, you don't want to eat any of that, you want an egg, for example. You're getting a pickled egg that is coming out of a jar with this red juice, red water, red something. I don't even know what that thing is. And for some reason, our children in the inner city communities love that kind of stuff. Pickled sausage, pickled eggs. And it leads me to scratch my head sometimes and tilt it to the side, as you would see me do. Those of you who know me would see me do this all the time. But I do it sometimes on this broadcast too, so you can see it there. Why? Why isn't a store like this in every community? Why isn't a store like this on a corner in Beverly Hills? Why isn't a store like this in the middle of Rodeo Drive? In Manhattan? Why? And so it provokes thought. It provokes my thought. It should provoke yours too. Social factors put Black, Hispanic, and American Indian people at a disadvantage. These groups often carry a heavier economic and social burden. As a result, their health is also harmed. Other groups also face disadvantages that affect their risks for heart disease. In the US, certain racial and ethnic groups are hit harder by high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes. These are two major risk factors for heart disease: high blood pressure or hypertension and diabetes. But you notice diabetes was also on the list, but lower down. When we went through the list of leading killers in the United States, leading diseases, leading ailments that will cause death. Heart disease, of course, at the top of the list. But if it's at the top of the list and the people that are affected the most are the ones that are disparaged, I guess you could call it. You know, how do we find a fix? 59% of black adults have hypertension. 59. This is the highest prevalence among all racial and ethnic groups. 4 out of 5 Asian adults undergoing treatment still deal with uncontrolled hypertension. This number lowers just a bit for Hispanic adults and black adults, 3 out of 4 for each of those groups. Black women are twice as likely as white women to develop chronic hypertension during pregnancy. And this condition raises a person's risk for cardiovascular disease down the road. Black adults are more likely than white adults to have organ damage caused by hypertension. As a result, they are 4 times more likely to experience end-stage kidney disease. Black adults are more likely than white adults to die from hypertension and related diseases. Y'all see a trend here? Social factors impact these numbers. People who lack insurance are more likely to have uncontrolled hypertension. People who face discrimination have higher blood pressure. You wonder why? Things like we suffer from high blood pressure in the black community. We suffer from high blood pressure in the Asian and these ethnic minority groups as they're considered. And I don't know how it is that people could be considered a different ethnic minority group when we all, if we need a transplant, nobody is asking the question, well, is this a black heart or a white heart or an Asian heart, an Indian heart? Where did this heart come from that is going to save my life? If it is one to save your life, it's a healthy heart. I don't see anybody refusing it because they want to live. So here it is, you have these ethnic minorities being classified and severely affected as a result of these classifications. Yes, people looking a particular way might suffer from this condition, but it's not because they look a particular way. We're recognizing that it is because of other things. So hypertension can lead to complications, and these complications include coronary artery disease, heart failure, stroke, peripheral artery disease, abdominal aortic aneurysm, chronic and end-stage kidney disease, renal failure, and dementia. Which means you have more people from these ethnic minority groups that would have these conditions. When was the last time you saw or heard a commercial in mainstream media encouraging you to eat healthy, to exercise, to reduce stress, to sleep, to rest, in order to reduce the probability of any of these conditions manifesting? When was the last time? I'll wait. I won't wait too long because I'd probably end up having a silent broadcast. I doubt there's 5 people that could say to me, well, you know, I heard that 3 times today on the radio. I saw that this afternoon on TV. I doubt there are 5 people that can say that. And people are listening to this broadcast from all over. In at least 9 countries, according to one of my reports that I got. Type 2 diabetes can harm blood vessels in your heart, brain, and kidney. This condition also causes your triglyceride and LDL cholesterol levels to go up. People who have diabetes are twice as likely as those without it to have a heart attack or stroke. About 1 in 10 people in the US have some form of diabetes, and the vast majority, 90 to 95%, have type 2 diabetes. Diabetes is a major health crisis for all people, but it affects some racial and ethnic groups more often. In fact, in the mix of things, there's type 1.5 diabetes. This is the type that is less talked about. And if you check the archives, you'll find I did a whole broadcast on it. And I remember distinctly doing that broadcast and being contacted by a nurse to say, hey, wait, what? I've never heard of this. Someone working in the health field, actively working in the health industry for years. Never heard of type 1.5 diabetes, but it exists. So that's something else that I guess you just put that under the umbrella of diabetes and just call it George. Some researchers identify diabetes as an exemplar health disparities disease. What does that mean? Differences among racial and ethnic groups are obvious in the data, and social factors cause them. Some racial and ethnic differences in diabetes prevalence include among American Indians, 1 in 4 adults have diabetes, compared with about 1 in 12 whites. Hispanic, Latinx, Latino, Latinas, Black and Asian American adults are all more likely than white adults to develop diabetes. Black people are younger than white people when diagnosed with diabetes. And as a result, they have a lower life expectancy. Hispanic or Latinx people are twice as likely as white people to have undiagnosed diabetes. That's because they don't always have health insurance and routine health care. Hispanic women are more than twice as likely as white women to have diabetes. Type 2 diabetes usually affects adults over the age of 45, but research shows it's becoming more common among young adults and even children. Which are the young adults and children that are being affected? You can take a guess. Hispanic, Latinx children and Black children had the sharpest rise in diagnoses between 2002 and 2015. Obesity raises a person's risk of developing type 2 diabetes. And obesity is increasingly causing diabetes among Asian American, Black, and Hispanic Latinx people. Black adults have the highest prevalence of severe obesity when you have a body mass index of at least 40. Black people. You look around in these black communities and you look on the corner stores. You look on the corners and check out what's in those corner stores. Any of that food, any of those products look like products that can promote a heart-healthy diet. Right. You probably won't find any. Nothing promoting heart-healthy diets. So why are they there? What good do they serve? When you have to leave a community that is already struggling to go outside of that community to spend your money, which will now go into circulation in a different community, it doesn't come back into your community. How do you grow? And I'm talking about the geographical community at this point. And this is how it's a ripple effect. It's all linked. And when we study sociology, we learn these things. And even if you don't study sociology, it's things that you pick up along the lines along the way of life. unless we're not paying attention. We're too caught up with the bling and the newest this and the next season of shoes that is coming out and the designer purses and the eyelashes that go out to there and can shelter you and me. Well, it won't shelter you to just keep the front of your clothes dry if it rains, or, well, maybe not if it rains, but it gives you some shade. And that's what is interesting. That is where your interest lies. Not with your health. Because you're in style. You got swag. Well, I'll tell you this. I'd rather have health than have swag. Call me goofy looking, call me funny looking. You can't call me close to death. If that is what you're into, then who am I to stop you? So we're going to take another break. And as we're off on the break, I want you to think about something. And you can shoot me a message, 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. You can shoot me your answer to the question. Which ethnic group has the highest rate of heart disease? I've mentioned it a few times, and you could probably guess it, but go ahead. Have a gander. Have a go at it. Which ethnic group has the highest rate of heart disease? Drop me a line. Let me know. Put it in the stew pot. Shoot me a text. Or call. 773-789-STEW. I want to know. We'll be right back after these messages. Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
Making great music is one thing, sharing it with the world, that's another. Let the professionals at Reggae Global Entertainment help you to another level. Specializing in artist management, booking, public relations and marketing, and promotion, Reggae Global Entertainment can help you with event planning, websites, photography, and video production, press releases, legal services, and graphic design. They can even help you with music production, so you can get the sound that you want every time. Call Reggae Global Entertainment at 954-804-8199. That's 804-8199. Or visit them online at reggaeglobalentertainment.com.
MRE Entertainment, in association with VPAL Distribution, presents the brand new hit single.
I'm Robert French, and you're listening to my new song, Every Day of My Life.
Now available on all major digital platforms.
Every day of my life will be just loving you. Spend the rest of my life always just loving you. Every day of my life will be just loving you. Spend the rest of my life.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
Yes. Sakar Mantino, I'm making notes right now. You are locked in to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift.
It's just a kiss when I'm with somebody else. You don't know how I miss having you to myself. Total different world with you all the way out there. Too long has been the way. Had a little brother when you bring my share. Every day of my life will be I just loving you. Spend the rest of my life always and just loving you. Every day of my life will be I just loving you. Spend the rest of my life always and just loving you. Where did your mama get you from? With those decent and beautiful ways. Until thy kingdom come, me I go dip on the case. Serious nowadays. All I want is your love, and let this blessing fall over me. Girl, you are special to me. Every day of my life will be I just loving you. Spend the rest of my life always I just loving you. Every day of my life will be I just loving you. Spend the rest of my life always just loving you. You're so special. A kiss is just a kiss when I'm with somebody else. You don't know how I miss having you to myself. Total different world with you all the way out there. Too long has been the wait. Had a little brother when you bring my share. Every day of my life will be.
Every day of my life will be loving you.
Always just loving you.
As long as my heart can deal with it. As long as I have a healthy enough heart, you know. As long as I don't have one of these conditions that is going to take me out early. Yeah, every day of my life will be spent loving you, and I display my love by doing things like this broadcast. It's called Healthy Love. It happens every Tuesday, all things being equal. And tonight we're looking at top causes of death. In the background, the sound of Robert French, track called Every Day of My Life. And someone said, you know, I really love that song. And so it is a song that brought you back from the break. I like the song too, just so that you know. Which ethnic group has the highest rate of heart disease? If you guessed black men or black people, then you would be the winner. If there was a gift to give away, you'd get it. Black men have a 70% higher risk of heart failure compared with white men. And black women have a 50% higher risk of heart failure compared with white women. Black adults are more than twice as likely as white adults to be hospitalized for heart failure. They also spend longer in the hospital and are more likely to be admitted again within 90 days. Round about the time when that bill comes. Yeah, because here you go, you're stressed again, and your heart rate blood pressure go up, and your heart give out, so you're back in the hospital within 90 days. That's how that works. Hispanic adults are more likely than white adults to have heart failure. This is scary information. And if you're feeling uneasy about it as you listen to this broadcast, whether live or the podcast or the YouTube rebroadcast, good. You should be uneasy, because that discomfort is what you should use to drive you to strive for a better life. If not for you, for your children and their children. Because we learn from each other. And so if we're going to start living healthier lives, then those coming up behind us should follow suit. If we can be educated enough that even if we don't live the healthier life, we're passing on the knowledge and we're preaching it to those coming up behind us and saying, hey, look at the condition that I am in. You don't want to be in this condition. So don't do the things that I did. That can even be how you contribute to a change. We're going to look at some of the heart-healthy foods. And this is according to Healthline. Some heart-healthy foods. And we need those. Because diet plays a major role in heart health. And it can impact your risk of heart disease. Again, a lot of people don't look at diet and think of certain things. But here's the bottom line. I've said it before on a number of occasions, and I'll say it again. Your gut health is what dictates your overall health. The first time I heard that was Dr. Janice Stone. Dr. Janice J. Love Stone. She was the person that I started Healthy Love with some, 11 years ago. And she's my chiropractor and friend. She was the one that I first heard say those words. And a decade later, it still holds true, which means that it was probably said before I even heard her say it. But I wasn't paying attention to that kind of a thing. You know, I was young and feeling invincible. And that's probably what many of us out there are thinking. We're good. You know, I can walk down the street and walk back and be fine. Okay. Try it now, do the same trip and run. See what kind of condition you're in then. So here are some food that you should be eating to maximize your heart health. You ready? Some people like to take out their notebooks and take notes. Don't worry. The podcast will be available. So you can always go back to it over and over and over again. First on the list, leafy green vegetables. Things like spinach and kale and collard greens. These are well known for their wealth of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Now, when you're going to make collard greens and drown it in some salt-based mixture, you cook it down, and you're going to do it with smoked turkey neck. Now, I have nothing against smoked turkey neck. I actually love smoked turkey neck. But when you're going to prepare collard greens and the amount of salt you're consuming, might as well you go drink the ocean. You know, that defeats the purpose. So be mindful of your preparation. These leafy greens are great sources of vitamin K, which help protect your arteries and promote proper blood clotting. And they're also high in dietary nitrates, which have been shown to reduce blood pressure. They also decrease arterial stiffness and improve the function of cells lining the blood vessels. Some studies have also found a link between increasing your intake of leafy green vegetables and a lower risk of heart disease. One analysis of 8 studies found that increasing leafy green vegetable intake was associated with up to 16% lower incidence of heart disease. Another study in 29,689 women showed that a high intake of leafy green vegetables was linked to a significantly lower risk of coronary heart disease. So let's get those greens in. While we're looking for the greens, we should look for the grains, the whole grains. These include all 3 nutrient-rich parts of the grain: the germ, the endosperm, and the bran. And the common types of whole grain include whole wheat, brown rice, oats, rye, barley, buckwheat, and quinoa. I know some people that said they can't wrap their minds or their tongues around quinoa. The texture just off for them, and I'm like, you can go one of 2 ways when it comes to food. You can either live to eat or you can eat to live. Choose. I digress. Refined carbohydrates increase the risk of coronary heart disease, and conversely, whole grains are protective. An extra 1 or 2 servings per day of these kinds of foods increases or decreases risk by approximately 10 to 20%. That one serving changed the world. Multiple studies have found that including more whole grain in your diet can benefit your heart health. One analysis of 45 studies concluded that eating 3 more servings of whole grains daily was associated with a 22% lower risk of heart disease. Which whole grain are you going to find in the corner store? Adopting a diet rich in plant-based foods, whole grain, low-fat dietary products, and sodium intake within normal limits can be effective in the prevention and management of hypertension. So, even if you miss the boat on prevention, you still can catch the management boat. When purchasing whole grains, make sure to read the ingredient labels carefully. Phrases like whole grain or whole wheat indicate a whole grain product, while words like wheat flour or multigrain, these may not. And so you find products that are being marketed that way as healthy, but not. Then you have your berries. Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. These are all jam-packed with important nutrients that play a central role in heart health. Berries are also rich in antioxidants like anthocyanins, and these protect against the oxidative stress and inflammation that contribute to the development of heart disease. Studies show that eating lots of berries can reduce several risk factors for heart disease. One study in 33 adults with obesity showed that consuming strawberries at 2.5 servings for 4 weeks significantly improved insulin resistance and LDL cholesterol. That's the bad cholesterol. Another study found that eating blueberries daily improved the function of cells that line blood vessels, which help control blood pressure and blood clotting. Another analysis of 22 studies showed that eating berries was associated with reduction in LDL cholesterol, systolic blood pressure, body mass index, and certain markers of inflammation. Berries can be a satisfying snack or delicious low-calorie dessert. Try adding a few different types of berries to your diet to take advantage of their unique health benefits. Again, when you go to the corner store, what berries are you going to find in there? Then you have avocados, what Jamaicans like to call pear. Avocados are an excellent source of heart-healthy monosaturated fats, which have been linked to reduced levels of cholesterol and lower risk of heart disease. One study looked at the effects of 3 cholesterol-lowering diets in 45 people with overweight and obesity. And one of the test groups consuming 1 avocado per day. The avocado group experienced reductions in LDL cholesterol, including lower levels of small, dense LDL, which is believed to significantly raise the risk of heart disease. The lipid-lowering and cardioprotective effects of avocado have been demonstrated in several studies. Avocados are also rich in potassium, a nutrient that is essential to heart health. In fact, just 1 avocado supplies 975 milligrams of potassium, or about 28% of the amount that you need in a day. Getting at least 4.7 grams of potassium per day can decrease blood pressure by an average of 8 or 8.0 or 4 millimeters. What's this? Millimeters Hg. Now, what was my science again? I can't even remember what that is. But this is associated with 15% lower risk of stroke. So, 15% lower with just 4.7 grams of potassium. Is that something that you can work with? I think yes. And something that we should strive to work with. Then you have your fatty fish and fish oil. And when it comes to fish, people tend to shy away because they think something is fishy. But listen, it may not smell that great, but your body will love you for it. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and tuna are all loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, which have been studied extensively for their heart health benefits. Omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish may have a protective role in the risk of developing heart disease and slightly reduce the risk of CVD events in arrhythmias. That's cardiovascular disease events, yeah. Another study showed that eating fish over the long term was linked to lower levels of total cholesterol, blood triglycerides, fasting blood sugar, and systolic blood pressure. Fish consumption is associated with a lower risk of cardiovascular disease, depression, and mortality. If you don't eat much seafood, fish oil is another option for getting your daily dose of omega-3 fatty acids. Fish oil supplements have been shown to reduce blood triglycerides, improve arterial function, and decrease blood pressure. Another omega-3 supplement like krill oil or algal oil are popular alternatives. I remember growing up at certain times of the year, out would come the golden gel tablets, and up would go the noses, shut would go the mouths, because nobody seemed to love cod liver oil tablets. It was worse when you had to drink the cod liver oil. I would take my chances with the tablets. Because going down, you wouldn't notice. But after it has gone down and you burp a couple of times, you kind of get the taste, the smell. Back then, I was only told that it was good for me. Didn't know how good. To find good cod liver oil tablets today seems to be like searching for gold. You just have to know where to go, apparently. Continuing, before we get into musical therapy, continuing down the list, walnuts. These are a great source of fiber and micronutrients like magnesium, copper, and manganese. You know, someone had asked me to do a healthy love on metals that the body needs. Copper is one of those metals. Research shows that incorporating a few servings of walnuts in your diet can help protect against heart disease. Evidence for cardiovascular disease prevention is strong for some varieties of tree nuts, particularly walnuts. There's a 2009 study in 365 participants that showed diets supplemented with walnuts led to greater decreases in LDL and total cholesterol. Interestingly, some studies have also found that regularly eating walnuts, such as walnuts, is associated with a lower risk of heart disease. Now, the problem that some people may have is the inclusion of salt with their walnuts, because people love salted nuts. And so to have salted sunflower seeds or salted almond nuts or salted peanuts or salted walnuts would be more sought after than your unsalted ones. Listen, try to consume the healthier products, the heart healthy products. You want to consume them in as close to their natural state as you can, because that is where you get the most nutrients. They're not processed out. Now, not to say that all processed food is bad for you. I'm not saying that at all, because some things need to be processed in order to be consumed. I'm saying the ones like your leafy vegetables, like your nuts, minimal processing needs to be done in order for you to get the maximum benefit. You then have your beans, and beans contain resistant starch, and these resist digestion and is fermented by the beneficial bacteria in your gut. And resistant starch has the potential to exert a healthy impact on the gut and certain members of its resident microbiota. These you definitely want to have as part of your diet, because you can only benefit all around. How do you lose from something as contributory to positively to your health and diet as beans? You know, there's no loss when you're consuming beans like that. And you know, people make fun of it and say, boy, you know, eating all these beans, you're gonna be blowing up the place, you know, you're gonna be gassy and all that. Hey, listen, would you rather be gassy are on some list for heart transplant. Which one do you prefer? Multiple studies have found that eating beans can reduce certain risk factors for heart disease. In an older study of 16 people, eating pinto beans reduced levels of blood triglycerides and LDL. One review of 26 studies found that a diet high in beans and legumes significantly decreased levels of LDL. What's more, eating beans has been linked to reduced blood pressure and inflammation, both of which are risk factors for heart disease. Again, just to remind you, top diseases, top causes of death: heart disease, cancer, COVID, accidents, stroke, chronic respiratory illnesses, Alzheimer's, diabetes, influenza, pneumonia, nephritis, nephrotic syndrome, and nephrosis. Top of the list, heart disease. Down towards the bottom of the list, diabetes. However, the two are linked. So I don't know how it is that you can separate them like that. But somehow it's done. Hey, cuz, how you doing? Talking about cod liver oil. You had to drink it or else. It's interesting. We'd be threatened with punishment for something that was good for us. For lack of knowledge, we perish. And this is what is happening in a lot of our communities. Lack of information. We're so ill-informed. We're so ill-advised. We're so uneducated about simple things to keep us alive. Why? So that we could end up paying for pharmaceuticals? Seriously? Is there that much love for money and riches over health and life? What is more precious than life? What is more valuable than health? And so, well, value is relative to the person that is recognizing it, right? So there's no way that you are going to value an item that I have as much as I do with you not using it, or you not appreciative of it, being appreciative of it. And therein lies the problem. Because the people that stand to benefit are already in good health. They can afford to have good health. They value it for themselves. But because your bad health keeps them healthy, they value your ill health. And so will do the things necessary to promote that. Now, it could be said that I'm making things up, but look around. In those communities that have these ethnic minority groups, what kind of services, what kind of goods are readily available to them? And when you think about things like that, now you can start asking your own questions. You don't have to go with mine, because I may be going off on a tangent. I may be in my own little world. Then again, maybe I'm not. Dark chocolate is on this list. Now, that you may be able to get in that corner store. And dark chocolate is rich in antioxidants. Antioxidants like flavonoids, which these help boost heart health. Now, interestingly enough, several studies have associated eating chocolate with a lower risk of heart disease. But we're talking dark chocolate here. Consumption of chocolate in moderation, we're talking about less than 6 servings a week, may decrease your risk of coronary heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. Now, keep in mind that these studies show an association but do not necessarily account for other factors that may be involved. Additionally, chocolate can be high in sugar and calories. These negate its health-promoting properties. So, if you're going to choose chocolate, you want high-quality, dark chocolate with a cocoa content of at least 70%. And you want to consume this moderately to make the most of its heart healthy benefits. Some people just hear, wait, dark chocolate? Yeah, it's healthy. Give me the dark chocolate. Let's go to the store. Let's get the chocolate. No. Not all chocolate are made equal. And finding that dark chocolate with 70% cocoa, 70? Check and see the price. Then you have tomatoes. Tomatoes are loaded with lycopene, which is a natural plant pigment with a powerful antioxidant property. Well, several antioxidant properties actually. And antioxidants help neutralize harmful free radicals, preventing oxidative damage and inflammation, and both of which can contribute to heart disease. Low blood levels of lycopene are linked to an increased risk of heart attack and stroke. Increasing the intake of tomato products like lycopene supplementation have positive effects on blood lipids. It also has positive effects on blood pressure and endothelial function. A study in 50 women with being overweight found that eating 2 raw tomatoes 4 times a week increased levels of HDL, which is your good cholesterol. Higher levels of HDL can help remove excess cholesterol and plaque from the arteries to help keep your heart healthy and protect against heart disease and stroke. Then there are almonds. Now, there are some people that love almonds more than others. I have nothing against you. Do your thing. I remember growing up, my grandparents had an almond tree, which had a swing. And whenever I visited their home, I would always be on that swing. If I went for anything else, I didn't go to see them. I went to go on the swing and to eat the almonds. And so I'd break open the almonds after eating the ripe ones. You eat the flesh of the ripe ones, and that was cool. I remember doing that. Why it is you can't find a whole almond anywhere in the United States, I don't know. But here it was, I would eat the almonds, I'd break them open and eat the nuts from inside. Almonds are incredibly nutrient dense, boasting a long list of vitamins and minerals that are crucial to heart health. They are also a good source of heart-healthy monosaturated fats and fiber, 2 important nutrients that can help protect against heart disease. Research suggests that eating almonds can have a powerful effect on your cholesterol levels also. One study involving 48 people with high cholesterol showed that eating 1.5 ounces of almonds daily for 6 weeks reduced belly fat and levels of LDL, 2 risk factors for heart disease. Then you have your seeds. Your chia seeds, your flax seeds, your hemp seeds, all great sources of heart healthy nutrients, including fiber and omega-3 fatty acids. You notice hemp seeds are in the mix, but there was a time when nobody wanted to do anything with hemp because it was a drug, it's marijuana. It's Not good for you. It's seriously. Pay attention to the things, man. Hemp products are awesome. You can out of hemp, you can get clothes, you can get food. Come on. But anyway, this is not about hemp. Numerous studies have found that adding these types of seeds, your chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds, adding them to your diet can improve many heart disease risk factors, including inflammation, blood pressure, cholesterol, and triglycerides. Hemp seeds, for example, are high in arginine, which is an amino acid that has been associated with the reduction of reduced blood levels of certain inflammatory markers. Flaxseed may also help to keep blood pressure and cholesterol levels well managed. You want to, as much as you can, get some of these seeds in your diet. Chia seeds are a great source for heart health. Although there is more research that is needed about the effects of chia seeds on heart health in humans, one study in rats found that eating chia seeds lowered blood triglyceride levels and boosted levels of beneficial HDL. HDL, again, is your good cholesterol. Then there's garlic. Now, we all know that garlic is one of those superfoods, right? For centuries, garlic has been used as a natural remedy to treat a variety of ailments. In recent years, research has confirmed its potential medicinal properties and found that garlic can even help improve heart health. Garlic is one of them, like I said, superfood, but you need to be careful because although it can reduce your blood pressure, it can drop it to way too low. Everything in moderation. You have olive oil, a staple in the Mediterranean diet. The heart healthy benefits of olive oil are well documented. I don't even need to go into the details of that. Edamame is one of those products that many people don't really talk about. It's an immature soybean frequently found in Asian cuisine. And like other soy products, it is rich in soy isoflavones, a type of flavonoid that may help lower cholesterol levels and improve heart health. Then there's green tea. This has been associated with a number of health benefits, from increased fat burning to improved insulin sensitivity. It's also brimming with polyphenols and catechins, which can act as antioxidants to prevent cell damage, reduce inflammation, and protect your heart, or maintain or improve the health of your heart. Again, people go to sleep on things like green tea, but taking green tea supplements or drinking matcha, a beverage that is similar to green tea, but made with the whole tea leaf, these may also help to benefit heart health. So, what should be your takeaway from this as we get into musical therapy? What should be your takeaway? Well, as evidence emerges, the link between diet and heart disease also grows stronger. What you eat can influence almost every aspect of your heart health, from blood pressure and inflammation to cholesterol levels and triglycerides. Including these heart-healthy foods as part of a nutritious, well-balanced diet can help keep your heart in good shape and minimize your risk of heart disease. Again, we're looking at the top causes of death. Heart disease, top of the list. So, what are you doing to keep your heart safe? Top of the list, heart disease. According to 2020 data put out by the CDC, heart disease, cancer, COVID, accident, stroke, chronic lower respiratory diseases, Alzheimer's disease, diabetes, influenza, and pneumonia, nephritis, nephrotic syndrome, and nephrosis. That bottoms out the list. I don't know what list will come out with in 2023, but And that list would probably be for 2021. But this was a list that they put out this year. Revised it in September of this year for 2020. So where do you stand with making sure that you are trying to live, are working towards living a long, healthy life? Where do you stand?
It's a different Christmas. Different Christmas. That's what it is. That's what it is.
As we go into musical therapy, this is Anthony Red Rose working out with Hopeton, the Pen Lindo.
Christmas.
It's called A Different Christmas. And I'm encouraging you to have a different type of Christmas as it relates to your Christmas diet.
Each other this year. It's a different Christmas. Still let us spread some joy and share. A different Christmas. So let us help each other this year. Even though the year has been so hard, many we have lost along the way. Yeah. COVID pandemic changed everything. But still we have life, for there is hope for a better day. It's a different Christmas. Still let us spread some joy and share. A different Christmas. So let us help each other this year. It's a different Christmas. Still let us spread some joy and share. A different Christmas. So let us help each other this year. See the smiles on the children's faces, celebrating the season. People practicing social distancing for a good reason. It's not like how it used to be for you and me. We've got to share love to our friends and family. It's a different Christmas. Still let us spread some joy and share. A different Christmas. So let us help each other this year. It's a different Christmas. Still let us spread some joy and share. A different Christmas. So let us help each other this year. No greater gift than the gift of love. No greater joy than having you with me.
The sound of Peter G.
I'm so happy the holiday
track calls My Wish for Christmas.
No other place I'd rather be. My wish for Christmas is having you here with me. My wish for Christmas is spending time with you. My wish for Christmas is how it's supposed to be. My wish for Christmas is making dreams come true. You're prettier than all the decoration. That is oh so true. Your smile is brighter than the star. Than the star. More special than a special occasion. Ooh. I just love the way you are. There's a time flies when you're having fun. I can't believe the year is almost done. Nobody else but you can make me feel the way I do. You make my dreams come true. My wish for Christmas is having you here with me. My wish for Christmas is spending it with you. My wish for Christmas is how it's supposed to be. My wish for Christmas is making dreams come true.
I'll be home for Christmas. Yeah.
This is Novelty.
Count on me.
Her rendition of I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Please have snow and mistletoe and presents under the tree.
Again, can tell you as cold as it's gonna be in parts of Florida this year. There might be snow in Florida.
Will find me, yeah, where the love light gleams. Yeah, I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams. Yeah, I'm coming home for Christmas. I'm coming home for Christmas. Yeah, I'm coming home for Christmas. Yeah, I'm coming home. I'll be home for Christmas. La da da da. Yeah, you can count on me. Count on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents under the tree. La da da da. Christmas Eve will find me. Yeah, where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams. I'm coming home for Christmas. I'm coming home for Christmas. I'm coming home for Christmas. I'm coming home. Yeah.
It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights in the streets spreading so much cheer. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mist.
This is Mr. Jonah Marie. I'm sorry. This is Ed Robinson.
But I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow.
Spending his very first Christmas with his new bride, Miss Jonah Marie.
Shorter with you, shorter with you.
The track is called Mistletoe.
With you, yeah. Under the mistletoe, yeah. Everyone's gathering around the fire. Chestnuts roasting like a hot July. I should be chilling with my folks, I know, but I'll be under the mistletoe. Word on the street, Santa's coming tonight. Reindeer flying through the sky so high. I should be making my list, I know, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Shorter with you, shorter with you, shorter with you, shorter with you, yeah. Under the mistletoe, yeah. Shorter with you, shorter with you, shorter with you, with you. Under the mistletoe, oh yeah, oh yeah. The wise men follow the star, where I follow my heart, and it led me to a miracle and love. Don't you buy me a thing, no, 'cause I am feeling one thing. Your lips on my lips, that's a merry, merry Christmas. Share me with you, yeah. Share me with you, yeah. Share with you, yeah. Share with you, yeah. Under the mistletoe, yeah. I don't wanna miss out on the holidays, but I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Share me with you, yeah. Share me with you, yeah. Share with you, yeah. Share with you, yeah. Under the mistletoe, yeah, baby. Share me with you, share me with you, yeah. Under the mistletoe.
Last night I had a crazy dream.
This is Marty Dread.
Granted,
Working out with Sly and Robbie.
could be for anything.
Well, Sly and the late Robbie.
Didn't ask for money or
Their rendition of One More Day.
I simply wished for one more day with you. One more day, one more time, one more sunset, baby, I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still for one more day with you. First thing I do is pray for time to crawl.
second, say a million I love yous. That's what I do with one more day with you. One more day, one more time, one more sunset, baby, I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still for one more day with you.
Son of N Rose. Track called All the Love. This is how we're gonna close out this edition of Healthy Love right here on the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. I wanna thank you each and everyone for hanging out. Thank you for your contributions and sharing. All being well, we'll be back here tomorrow night with the Real Talk. Do call your friends, tell your friends, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too. Tell them all about it. As we part company, remember to look out for members of your community. Your community is not just the development that you live in, though. It spreads far and wide. So those that you pass on the bus, the plane, the boat, or the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive, look out for one of them today, because you never know who's going to look out for you tomorrow. My name is Kevin Stew. This is all I like to do is to you, for you, and with you every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, right here at 10 p.m. Eastern on kevinstew.com. Home of the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew, where you're invited to have acceptance through enlightenment. I bid you all a good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world, from right here in South Florida. I bid you all a good night. Take care until we do it again. Be good. If you can't be good at it. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The night shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.